My hair was still visible, did you? Oh, great. Restream is exploding again. What's going on here? Wait, nope. I think we're working. There we go. Now it seems we're online. So, you think I didn't notice that my hair was still peeking out at the end of that stream? Don't worry. I have everything under control, and I am definitely paying attention. You have my promise. Again, wrong button. Wow, it really just highlights something and then just highlight. Wow, yeah, it literally has my face highlighted. And then the instant I try to start dragging something, it starts moving the background instead. What's going on here? I really ought to get a button for that. Salutations, class, and welcome back. We just finished our Nicktoons tourney, and to relax a bit afterwards, we're going to be playing an equally frustrating game in Noita. So, I hope you'll join me. Set the controller down, which I've been clenching to my hands for the past 10 minutes. Alright. So, I am down here in the bottom right corner, but I think... Let's go ahead. Streaming still needs to be reconnected. Move the keyboard forward. Enabled mods have no settings. We have both those mods on, right? Alright, yeah, they're configured in-game. Let's hit that continue button and see where we start off with. Everything seems to be nominal. And vote is back in this corner again. Hold on. If you have your votes on the left side of the screen. Well, I enabled it, and it still has the votes hidden behind me, so I guess I'll just fix that real quick. Watch me slide right the heck over here. Can't wait to see me eat another hissy. Well, look forward to it. We're going to be committing a lot of cannibalism here in Noita. There we go. Leviathan, if you move over to Twitch, you'll be able to vote for extra things to make your professor suffer. Otherwise, if you're interested in just sitting back and relaxing, go ahead and enjoy the show on YouTube. A pleasure to see you. I did see you show up on Twitter recently with your model. I'm very excited to see where you go in the future. Looks absolutely wholesome and lovely. Alright, so moving forward in Noita, I think we want to make ourselves a lot more responsible. Most importantly, that would mean if we get into a situation that we're in trouble, we actually try to deal with the situation correctly rather than optimistically. By that I mean, in cases such as, we do like to grab that tablet, which is always our first route. We want to grab that emerald tablet from next to the lava lake. That way we can enable a lot more accidental kills, which will result in double the gold for us. Let's see if we can go ahead and drown this fire guy. Nope, get back here. Yeah, that's right. You saw me. How's it feel to not be able to move? I can't say that improves the situation. It does open up more routes for us. Thank you. Yes, you might be a warship, but you'd like to be a wholesome one. Exactly. I have very high hopes for you in the future. There are quite a number of VTubers I'm seeing, well, for the most part, seems about... how would I put it? It seems like 1/4 of them seem to try to play exactly into the character they present, About another 50% are either mostly themselves or, just a general sort of streaming vibe. There's also another fourth, it seems, that are completely contradictory to what their designs would suggest. I've seen a lot of innocent, small rodent VTubers that turn out to be absolute menaces. In contrast, there's also very violently designed VTubers that turn out to be incredibly wholesome instead. My personal vote is for say so as possible, which I'd like to be, but I don't think a little bit of swearing is necessarily against that as an idea. I've sworn a little, but I'm definitely trying to be as rude as I can on this channel. When things pick up, I might be able to have a bit better self-control, and accordingly, get by with a lot less, rudeness for one. I see we have a potion room down there. So this is already starting out to be a very exceptional run. James, welcome back. We just finished our Nicktoon stream, and unfortunately I don't think I'm going to be picking up that game much more. Who knows? Might switch back to Rivals of Aether for our Smash clone to focus on, especially with us doing a custom character run soon. Uh-oh. Yeah, get rid of him before he destroys all these potions. Why is he so durable? That man refused to die. And I want those potions to make sure we can actually get some good results out of them. But knowing the AI in this game, he's going to just destroy everything that's in there instead. Blaze Warrior, welcome back. Always happy to see you. Let me know if there's anything I can do to lighten your mood. I'd like all my viewers to be as comfortable as possible, hence the generally laid-back attitude. I'd like to be a very comfy and informative streamer, even if I play high-energy games like Guilty Gear. In retrospect, Noita's also probably a very high-energy game as well. We're going to get this down here to go ahead and get a fire started on all this, and it's not burning because it sunk to the bottom of it. We're instead going to kick this lantern. And no fire started where we want it. Oh, would you look at that? A mana potion, which we did try to grab earlier, but we were immediately teleported away. So, James, I noticed you did show up for a Noita stream originally, and actually yesterday I managed to get my first real win in this game offline. I'm hoping we can actually have a very good setup run sometime started soon. Spider-Man fan ever since you were a child. I've not had too much interest in Marvel stuff, but I do notice that I've had quite a bit of enjoyment watching superhero movies, the whole MCU set. And among them, Spider-Man is consistently small in scope, which I can appreciate. Given that it tends to deal with a lot less world-ending crisis, you have more of a chance to focus on the characters themselves rather than superpowers. Spider-Man's quite wonderful. You have definitely noticed the thing with the cute beams becoming gremlins and vice versa. Guess you would be kind of contradictory. Your VTuber self is certainly opposite to your real self. Now, define to me that characterization. Are you talking about the performance or design? Because for what I've known, a lot of people have referred to you as comfy, or you give a sort of comfy vibe from how I've had a number of conversations with you so far. It depends. Now, let's see if we can find that potion room again. That's going to be the most important part for us. Looks like that's it. Or that's close. Right, everything's spilling out from the adjacent rooms, it looks like. As long as any of them are still left standing. Let's see, did we miss any important liquids? Invisiblium. Chaotic polymorphine. We'll want to take this acid potion at the very least. Chaotic polymorphine, unstable teleportation. I actually have an idea. We're going to go ahead and drop that concentrated mana potion and pick up that chaotic polymorphine. Acceleration is lovely, but we do not have any levitation to pair it with. How do I feel about you viewing the channel? I welcome anyone who actually has any sort of regular attendance here. I've had a lot of good conversations with James so far, plenty of good insight from him. Anyone that's willing to show up regularly, I'd like to try to build some semblance of... I don't know if a community would be the word, with so few people. But I consider... Oh wait, Worms Armageddon. This is about to suck. Hold on. Big ones, small ones, some as big as your head. And the big one is mostly what I'm going to try to fix. Oh. More chaotic polymorphine. Lots of them around here. So, as I reiterate, yep, that's just acceleration. No chance for us to use levitation, which would be more important. I'd rather have levitation, but if I had the chance to combine it with, acceleration, then, well, we get the best of both worlds. Not for any particular cost either. Continuing my conversation there, Blaze Warrior, I'm always happy to see anyone return for multiple streams. That, personally, is the biggest delight for me on my channel, is having anyone who shows up in a regular capacity, be it for specific sorts of streams, or in general. I'd like to try to get back to Rivals of Aether soon, because I did have, for both of those streams, actually for any of those streams I did anything related to Rivals of Aether, I had multiple reoccurrences of, while it was only 2 people, they did come back multiple times. So, I would say your regular attendance is among the things that warms my heart the most, and I consider the regular constant viewer count to be the biggest measure of a streamer's success. I don't particularly care for 50 subscribers if they show up once and then don't care to keep returning. Now, granted, if they're here for any sort of content, I do appreciate their encouragement regardless. Of course, everyone does have a busy schedule, and myself, I don't have the time to watch other VTubers, so I might even be a bit of a hypocrite in that regard, because even to a few VTubers that I am subscribed to, I don't watch their streams. There we go. Hold on. We'll need that acid here in a moment. I'm gonna be a little sneaky. See if we have any larger holes dug by our rampant... Uh-oh. Yep, let's get out of here. He's still in the area. Oh great, where did he go? Yeah, having trouble parking, aren't you? I'm gonna need that worm site. I think that is where we need to be, to the left. Yeah, that's the exit room. So if we go further in this direction, we'll be able to avoid the worms a little bit better. You want to try to be an inspiration to people, especially people you care about. Care about a lot of people, even people you don't know. That's why you want to be That's why you want to try your best to be a hero to people. I've definitely understood that vibe, especially with your interest in shonens. You did pick Shiki as your main character in Melty Blood on top of, well, heck, not Naoto. I didn't read any of the X-Blaze novels, but he certainly has shonen protagonist vibes. You do have my confirmation that I consider it very, very heartwarming to see you show up again and again. It's actually what keeps me going, is seeing a few people show up and continue to show up. It means I'm in people's hearts and minds. Now what we're going to try to do right here is see if we can get ourselves a portal, a route directly downwards into the next room. We might want to try... We'll have to pour responsibly. And not in a place where we can regularly hurt ourselves. This might disable the portal, given that we'll be going through all the teleportation there. But that's a loss we can accept. I'm going to pick up that levitation potion here in a moment. But I'd like to drain all this acid out to try to see if we can get a route downwards, even if it requires angering the gods. I think they're already very angry. Ooh, almost. We might have a chance. We'll have to be very careful pouring downward because exactly that thing is what's going to happen. We'll have to take care not to get Noita. We're still gonna get ourselves killed, aren't we? This game is hardly responsible with how it treats its players. Am I making you nervous, Broham? Of course. Pour upward, and it still somehow hurts us. Well, what a wonderful expenditure of 15 minutes. And a comfortable morning rain we have here. Alright, try again and be a bit more responsible. I didn't respond to Leviathan a bit earlier. You were originally going to try to play a part, but it quickly went to just being yourself for the most part. I consider that generally to be the course that just about every VTuber ends up going. It's very hard to keep up someone who isn't yourself for the entire time that you're streaming. Yeah, definitely was a thing that made total sense. This game rapidly has shown a lot more of its irresponsibilities the longer I play. What the heck is that? Chaos die. Roll it for various prizes. Well, that thing's obviously going to hurt me. Die rolled a 1, so it shots frozen bolts everywhere. But it seems like everyone's true personality comes out eventually, no matter how hard they try to keep up one during streaming. There are a few of them, like Dr. Disrespect I know is one who keeps up a character. But I don't know the full roster because I don't even watch streamers myself. 2 pheromone potions. Oh, whoops. Wrong button. That's actually what got me interested in VTubing, was seeing that some people were trying to play characters. But what interested me was the glimpse of the true self that you find behind the character being portrayed. A number of the conversations I've had with Blaze Warrior here have been heartfelt and honest about a number of the troubles I usually face. Some things that I sympathize with deeply. Kaboom. Spells in all your wands have been shuffled around. No they haven't. I guess we aren't going to be able to play with our best gimmicks then. Especially if our acid potion that we don't even pour in ourselves still ends up murdering us. You know, he probably didn't even need the tablet given that we have the die. What does this thing do? Rolled a 3. And a wonderful result happened. Although, now we can't pick up that gold. Ah, so close. So the acid death there certainly sucks. We'll be able to pick it back up. Once we actually have a good run started, I notice most of my runs end somewhere in the first area, which is generally a case with roguelikes. If you don't have a good start, it's going to be hard to keep going. Definitely probably was a silly idea on your part to try to play the part of an overconfident ship when you're introverted and self-conscious. What I've noticed is, even being something mildly derivative of myself on a stream, I'm having a bit more self-confidence regardless. And something that plagues everyone, and trust me, if they say they don't have it, they're lying to you, is imposter syndrome. Definitely I see it being very likely if you try to act not yourself and, well, you're not someone with an absolutely gigantic ego, you might start feeling a bit of imposter syndrome about not specifically being yourself on stream and selling everyone a lie. I've actually heard a lot of people talk about how that's how they feel. So, in the end, I think being yourself while VTubing is the better route to go with. Blaze Warrior, sometimes you imagine your life being like an anime. You just feel like you want to be a half human, half Oni demon. You, picking up Coma now in Melty Blood? A higher energy life like that definitely sounds more interesting, but I don't know. I'm not sure if I'd be up for all the danger that would come with a shonen anime. Ah, good, we don't have to use our bombs here. Unstable teleportation. I don't even know what we'll use this die for. Go ahead and toss that, see what happens. Yeah, that thing's definitely going to Noita us, so well, I imagine it could do something like that, even without the Twitch roll. Welcome to Noita. There you go, that's my first clip of this game. I'm going to try to set it as a goal going forward that every single stream of mine, I'm going to try to get at least one memorable moment from. I might even try to make a compilation of Xander getting Noita. Runestone of Emptiness. You feel like kicking it. Yep. Welcome to Noita. Ah! All-Seeing Eye. I'll definitely love that. If we start finding any treasure, or say, other potions to be picked up, treasure chests, wands, we'll do that so that we can sort of see a route around where we need to get. Like so. I'll demonstrate. We now see that this Invisibilium potion is completely walled off. And you know, I kinda want it. Out of my way. Or, of course, maybe right-click isn't going to thread the tablet. Now, here... Oh, wait. We're not even gonna need a bomb here. Oh, this is gonna hurt. Ah, and we got out of there without being lit on fire. Personal invisibility. Oh, I would have rather had potion rate. Don't change your vote. I like seeing what the class has to offer. You know, I enjoy the Noita streams a lot because they are very long-lasting and comfy. They do have, despite all the rage-inducing things that can happen, a lot more space for me to personally interact with my viewers. Maybe I'll start going to some Noita subreddits or other places where Noita streamers gather. I don't think this game's popular anymore, but not like it ever was. But this is a game I would very much like to, well, continue to sate my addiction to. Whenever it does work. Have I played a game called Astral Chain? I've heard of it and it sounds incredibly familiar, but I haven't. Although off the top of my head, I can't remember what it is. Thanks for the invisibility, I'm about to put it to very good use. Well, for one, we're gonna wait for that blood to wear off. We're gonna sneak around over here, and voila. We see that wand down there, so we're going to use All-Seeing Eye to see what route we can use to take to get to it fastest, which is the most straightforward one. Tell me about Astral Chain. What do we have here? In cases like the Ukoskivi here, the electric rock, it's also a good idea to take a look around them so that we don't go running for some shiny object which will get us killed. I actually did have a run earlier today where I was trying to find... oh, what was it? I think it was an Ukoskivi that I saw glowing on the edge of my screen, but I didn't know that it would have been in a pool of water at the time. You can guess how well the electricity and water interacted with each other. This is probably a better wand for us than the first one we started with. Oh, I forgot to unmute myself. Darn it. Thank you, Leviathan. That's actually very relevant to the conversation I was having there. So, what's very important is viewer interaction. And I did notice that there was a very long stream delay on YouTube. So in the future, I might try to start doing lower quality but lower delay streams. The most important parts of the streamer experience is the live viewer interaction. Hey, 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 hey! That's a nice one. So, YouTube has had a lot of trouble in the past of, well, having quite a bit of delay between the stream itself and being able to see the comments. I don't know if that has to do with their video encoding or the fact that they're trying to save it to their servers at the same time. If they make it work, though, I have really high hopes for them. Blaze Warrior have a problem of not handling criticism from people. One of the most refreshing things you can learn is finally getting over the opinions of others. It's a little difficult to actually put up with other people saying things, and it's not like you can figure it out once and you're never hurt by it again, but going on with a number of the conversations that we've had so far on the streams, it makes sense once you actually learn it yourself, but your own view of yourself, your self-esteem, your self-worth, self-view, all that stuff, that's the most important thing to you, or it should be. And once you actually make it so, once you start focusing on your own view of yourself rather than everyone else's opinion, you'll find yourself a lot happier about it. Immunity is always the most important and highest priority of things for us to find. Now, does anyone have the mana for that? We can't even cast our black hole. And no teleports to supplement it. Guess we're not carving our way out of this one. No gods to be angered today. In that case, we'll just go right up over here. Entered coal pits. This is where things should start getting spicy. I also have a new trick I've learned that I'd like to demonstrate once we get to it. Hopefully without any death between here and there. Now, I, on the other hand, have more specific of an issue of myself being my own worst critic, mostly over my tendency towards laziness. I don't set up too much stuff outside of the stream. You'll notice I don't have an end card or a start card. And simultaneously, that conflicts with my strong DIY complex. I've been racking my brain trying to come up with a start card or end card to place on this channel, but a couple of the times I've sat down and tried to draw something, I end up getting a blank. Do I have any thoughts on Metroid Dread? I am not historically a Metroid player, but I'm very interested in trying to stream it. The opinions I have are mostly going to be shared between what I've seen from other people. Now, I do have a Switch, so I might start trying to stream Nintendo games soon enough. If that is something that there's a lot of interest for, I might go ahead and try to pick up Metroid Dread. I also did mention previously, in response to one of your sketches, actually. It's, well, it's about 3 weeks late at this point, isn't it? But I do think about picking up Deltarune as well. Although I never played Part 1, so I don't know if I'd have to do that in order to have any sort of understanding of Part 2. Or maybe they're separate enough, who knows. For what I know, you can play Deltarune without having played Undertale, but a lot of the stuff hits a lot harder if you actually did play Undertale first. I have spoken with a couple of my viewers, and I don't think any of them have actually gone through Undertale 1 or 2 yet. Assuming your Spamton fan art was out of your own playing the game or watching someone else stream it, you might be the only one who already has experience with it. So I might have to play through Chapter 1 first. What you don't understand sometimes, Blaze Warrior, just feel like it's the end of the world because you never learned something that's hard and difficult to understand in your life. It takes a long time to finally understand something. I don't know exactly how well I've hidden it, but in a number of the recent Type Lumina streams, as well as on the Nicktoons streams themselves, I've been a little harsh on myself on the inside for not being able to pick up learning a new strategy in the game itself. I've gotten a bit better at it with Strive, given that I've learned how to handle my characters, so I know how I don't need to actively be thinking about what I'm doing with my character, but how I respond to my opponent. And that's out of, you know, actually playing the character and being familiar with all their tools and buttons, where they hit, their frame data, so on and so forth. I mentioned previously, I'm my own worst critic, and I've definitely felt the same. When I've had a lot of my fights in Melty Blood or on Nicktoons Brawl over the past couple of weeks, I've very clearly seen specifically what I had to do, or I've been punished for doing a lot of the very specific things, and I haven't focused enough to be able to adapt. One of the biggest things that definitely upsets me is my own feeling of incompetence. So if I'm playing a fighting game and definitely don't understand what I'm doing, it just tilts me more in the end. Not sure how visible it's been, but my last few Melty Blood and Nicktoon streams have been quit with a temper, more or less. Actually, a difference here with the Nicktoons tournament, I was expecting to go 0-4, and I'm stuck. I was expecting to go 0-4, but I had more fun with that than I did with any of the prior Melty Blood or Nicktoons matches or streams. I might try to look for more competitive stuff to interact with in the future, and I'll look around to see if there's a lot of Melty Blood or VTuber tournaments going on. That might be a more... oh great. That might be a more weekly subject to tackle. Maybe instead of the weekly Guilty Gear stream, which, well, still remains my best content, I might try to see if I can get into a weekly fight on any of the fighting games I have available. Another thing I'd love to do is, even if it was with someone else who really doesn't know what they're playing, I would like to sit down and do just a 1v1 stream with another VTuber. The tournament tonight was my first real role in participating with the community. Oh, I'm on fire because I'm not paying attention. Was one of my first instances of paying attention to the VTuber fighting game community. I'm definitely going to have to look around more because That completely evaded my notice. I didn't really know where to go for a centralized experience for the longest time. I don't even know if there is a centralized VTuber fighting game place. There is a tag that you see me use on my fighting game streams, but I don't know if that's what everyone else uses, or if that's just for one server. The streamer who was hosting the Smash tournament earlier seems to be running her own centralized virtual YouTuber fighting game situation, but I don't know if that's the big one or not. Fighting games so far are a little obscure, and I haven't seen too many of the larger VTubers doing fighting games. I am not on fire anymore, Kayla. You can stop worrying. Deltarune can be played without Undertale, but the first chapter is important for Chapter 2. In that case, I think we have all of our regular viewers present for tonight. Give me a vote, or give me your opinion. Would you like a Deltarune Chapter 1 and Chapter 2 playthrough soon? If we're not going to be focusing on Nicktoons, and I'd like to get better at Melty Blood, but if it turns out I have to spend a lot more time in the lab there, then, well, what would be practical between my busy schedule and everything else going on, I might try to fit in more laid-back games. It's not entertaining to watch a streamer lose over and over again on a competitive game. When it comes to roguelikes, well, losing's part of the fun of it. So let me know, everyone right here, if you'd like to see some Deltarune action. Chapters 1 and 2. James very interested, of course. God, I've seen all the Spamton memes and unfortunately the big twist has already been spoiled for me, but it's hard for me to avoid Undertale content or Deltarune related things. I actually very much look up to Toby Fox. Man, well, did a very, or, well, got very famous off of, well, making a very honest projectiles leave a trail of poison, but we also have a regeneration field. That's a start. Never heard of it, but if James says yes, okay. You might be somewhat familiar with it. I did, I mean, it's hard to avoid seeing Undertale stuff if you're anywhere on the internet these days. But Toby Fox makes me proud for a game mostly designed by one person, and on such a very clear small budget, he managed to make something that still had a very heartfelt and engaging story. On this channel I've played mostly fighting games and roguelikes, but I'm also very fond of RPGs. For the longest time, I did play Oblivion as well, but I don't think anyone's looking for that. I'll make a return to Oblivion in the future if we ever actually pick up a larger regular viewership. We gotta get in there. Now that wand is cut off specifically by all the fire here, and lucky for us, we have a torch. Although we are going to be very careful, and you know what, we're gonna do it from over here instead. Gonna see if we can light this wood up. And hopefully that will burn down to the gunpowder. Ah, Pardon me. Nose is a little stuffed tonight. I might pause every so often to give it a little bit of a blow. Hold on, I'm gonna need to do something heavy duty real quick. Where did I put those darn tissues? Excuse me for a second. That's a little bit of improvement. Hold on. I think I'm gonna need the nasoflow. Let me be right back. And nose is already clearing right back up. Alright. We should be doing a lot better from here on out. That's going to take forever to get down there. Let's start on this side. There we go. And that makes the hole we need. We'll be back here in a minute because we'd like to get that wood to finish burning before we start doing anything else. We still have 3 bombs. Wonder what other sort of holes we can carve. Heck, maybe one from out there. What do we got here? Oh, would you look at that? Hello, handsome. Picked up a spell refresher. Wish I could have had that after we've done something with all the rocks here. Now that is a shuffle wand, so we won't always get the effects out of it. And occasionally we'll just end up throwing a bunch of rocks at once. What's important about the rocks is that they count as physics objects. So, if you kill someone with a rock from one of these wands, you get double money. I don't think that's gonna cut through there. Maybe if we give it a kick. Of course. I kicked the chain, not the mine. Hey, at least we're still alive, though. It's not too much longer before we get down to the portal, I believe. We've already been all the way down here. But not in this direction. 900 gold. I think there's a little bit more we can look for. And I definitely want to get over to... We need to make our way over to the westmost side so that we can get to the fungal caverns. That place houses a large number of wands and potions, which might give us a better start for what we're trying to do next. You know what? I'm just gonna see what this does. Guess it has a toggleable effect whenever we kick it. We'll drop that when we get surrounded by some enemies. Darn, I wanted to do fighting games all month, but it might have to be just, well, something very reminiscent of our schedules back in July. Where we'd have maybe just fighting games all weekend. And then that's about it. Now, I'm about to show you a little trick here for any of our Noita players in the chat. Let's see, we'll need a little bit of a pit to sit in. My cup runneth over. You heard fungal caverns and immediately thought Hollow Knight. We have some very interesting surprises instead. I might actually play Hollow Knight one of these days too. Here's a hot take for you. I don't like Hollow Knight. I think the platforming actually is very dysfunctional in that game. Now, real quick, we have Berserkium over here, and we have a bomb in our wand, so we're going to drop this, make sure we are properly berserk before it goes off. And that doubles the size of our explosions, as well as the damage. So Berserkium, as long as you have bombs or explosives, is another little trick you can pick up from. By the way, James, how experienced are you with Noita, anyway? You did show up originally for it. I think we had that conversation too. I don't remember if you've beaten the game or if it's just something you like its lore. Hollow Knight does have good lore, and I definitely appreciate the character it has. The fact that everyone's just a little bug. It's adorable. I think it's the gameplay which is really the only part that it misses. Everything else, graphics, music, presentation, everything else seems to work just great. What the heck is exploding? We got explosive spells? Yep. You have never played Noita? Well, I'm very impressed that you came across this stream then. You did say you were looking for Noita or Terraria content. We do not have a safe landing spot there. Looks like we both have plenty of secrets to discover here. I know Brohem, who's probably off cooking right now, is a humongous Noita fan, and he has given me quite a bit of helpful guidance so far. Let me guess. Humid air, indeed. We already have a Greek letter spell, which we did unlock prior, and that's going to be incredibly important for us. Especially for any of our wands that are limited use. So we really want this run to succeed. Plenty of stuff to be found over there, too. But we have to be careful. This place is roughly as difficult as... I'd wager it might be on par with Hisi Base for its difficulty. It always feels like it's a lot harder than the coal pits that they're adjacent to. But there is a very important reason why we're going in there. I might want to navigate my way up and then start working downward instead. You considered buying it, but ended up getting Terraria instead. Currently, Metroid is the game under consideration. I can tell you from someone who has a very Metroid-loving friend that this is, for a lot of people, they say it's the best Metroid, 2D Metroid game they've ever had. So do with that what you will. Gotta have those spicy ducks. I don't even know what spicy ducks do. That worries me. Well, we're gonna have to get to the other side of that somehow. Right there's a nice little spot for us to pour some Berserkium. We'll wait for the fires to dissipate. In a moment. Although they're taking forever. Alright, I've had my patience. And water sinks to the bottom, so we'll have to just let that burn out instead. Let me guess, they explode. Told ya. Very spicy, thank you very much. Thank you, Leviathan. You have, taught me a lot about birds today. Now, we're a little bit berserk. We want to build that up a bit more. Drop this in here. Make sure we remain berserk. See if we can pick some of this back up. Most of it, even. Somehow we got fire in that potion. Hold on. I got an idea. Pour that out. Get ourselves real nice and wet. Go see if we can bottle some of this up. No. How the heck did we get it in the Berserkium potion then? Yeah, just a water potion. Well, that was a disappointing waste of health. I will be pouring out that potion again soon. Get rid of those mines for good measure. As a sort of vengeance. Now, I'm going to let you in on another Noita secret I recently discovered. First, we're gonna get doused. Pick up this gold. Now, look at this treasure chest on the left here. You'll see it is a very innocent-looking and normal treasure chest. That's because it is. But we're going to fly over here. Now look at this treasure chest. You'll see 1, it's floating, 2, it's upright, and 3, and most importantly, it has a wet sign over it. So it's labeled as doused in water. We also mouse over it and do not see it labeled as a treasure chest, and that is because it's a mimic. Healing ghosts. Well, we might have a slightly better chance in the fungal caverns then. A lot of the stream benefits do give me a much better chance than what it would be if I was playing regularly, especially given that, well, for one, my class seems to be mostly benevolent. People tend to vote for ways to keep me healthy instead of hurting me constantly. Larger Noita streamers would probably have a much more sadistic viewer base. And should I ever start picking up more viewers, that's definitely going to be a thing there too. I know the one time that we were raided while I was having a wonderful run, well, they tried to kill me. They could not. I was far too powerful. Those healing ghosts are going to be with us for a long time, so we don't need to sit down for them. Yep, welcome, Leviathan. You have become a ghost. Would you say you're going, ghost? Ah, that guy does not seem like he wants to go through there. Now, let's get a chance and see what this does. I guess it's a black hole of sorts. No idea what it does. We'll irresponsibly stand on top of this. Ah, look, it's dissipating our projectiles as we shoot at it. Pick that back up and toss it over here, because I don't think we actually want to use that. It's rare, but I'd rather keep the spare potions with us. Although then again, after this point we don't need to be doing too much with the emerald tablets, do we? We'll leave this somewhere conspicuous. That's about to explode, so we are not going to use it as a platform again. Now, I accidentally discovered this mechanic with, well, for one, if you ask Leviathan, especially if you've looked at her Twitter lately, she's had some personal remarks about my eating habits in this game. Among them, I just, well, find random things off the ground to pick up. Now, there's lots of the weird fungus around here that I started eating because I was trying to get rid of it. Apparently, it deprives you of oxygen if you stand in it, even though it's something that, well, rather innocently, just is a bunch of fungus that grows. Gonna go ahead and eat this corpse. I think that hurt us. What we are going to do is find a large clump of unused fungus and devour as much of it as we can. Pickup is a funny way to call cannibalism. That's the thing. We don't know if we're the same species as hissies. Now, it might be a case of sapient eating sapient, which is definitely the case, and something of its own monster to worry about. But it's not cannibalism if I eat hissies. They're probably a different species from the Noita, but we have no idea what the Noita is. Other than it... Uh-oh. Get out of here. Who voted for that? Who voted for that? Oh, more importantly, who neglected to vote for that? And more importantly, I'm going to need as much of this as I can. Oh, there's gold. That's more important. Polymorphine. Well, I'm glad we didn't pick that up. We're gonna need to get rid of all this. Where did... Oh, that gold came from the pouch. That's right. What's this want to do? Dynamite! With a little bit of a spread. Better than our starting wand, at least. Check this out. I said, check this out. We'll, clear out the area quite gently. Now, the alcohol itself is the part of whiskey that's flammable, so, when I think about it, you shouldn't be able to get drunk from inhaling burnt whiskey vapors, right? After all, that's the part that is burning. Well, that should have melted anyone that was alive down here. Unstable teleportation potion. We'll pick up as much of this gold as we can. Seems quite a bit of it has slipped into that hole there. Do we have any way to dig our way in there? Ah, well, a little bit of dynamite. We are doing exceptionally well. Alright, we're gonna have to get in there from underneath, and into there... That one's going to be a challenge. Also, I've learned that mushrooms explode. Oh, right, we're whiskeyed. We can't do anything about aiming right. Definitely kill the frogs because we hate frogs. And since that explosion counts as an accident, that other frog dropped extra gold. Hit the damn thing. Random potion, hopefully a good one. That thing did 20 damage. How is a frog of that size that lethal? I'm glad I used that there. We do not want to head in that direction. We'll see what this random potion is in 30 seconds. Looks like basically our wand with better capacity for the future. We'll be able to put better spells on that soon enough. Pheromone. Acceleration. Concentrated mana, that's what I'm looking for. There we go. Thank you for the help, Leviathan. You are such a boon. Where did that drop? I guess that was the unstable teleportation. Do we have any way to get rid of all this? Nothing pleasant, it looks like. Now let's see if that sinks. It does! And this is important, because for some reason, concentrated mana eats through steel. And does not go to the bottom of that fungus. So we'll have to sneak in from over here instead. Start pouring this on. Come on. Eggs. We'll skip that one. That's far less important than the other options we have available here. When you get better at drawing, you want to draw yourself with Ragnar and Nato and we're fighting side by side. Definitely a dream, fighting alongside your best heroes. Concentrated mana potion, more wands, levitation, hold on. We'll have to get rid of this guy first, but I do have the idea to demonstrate. I do hope you get better at drawing too. It's another hope of mine. I might try to do more art streams soon. I've had plenty of brainstorming going on for the Rivals of Aether project. Actually, I think it's pronounced Ether. I need to actually start participating in that community and learning, well, the ins and outs. Now, this biome currently and usually has a humidity modifier, which causes projectiles to slow down. It also makes it harder to be lit on fire. Actually, I don't even want that whiskey. We're about to do something different. Well, first, get rid of that guy. And then second, pour all this mess out. Actually, you know what? I have a different plan. And we're gonna stick to that one instead. So, I gave a small story about how I started eating fungus and learned, well, a very bizarre mechanic of this game. We're gonna start tripping balls. Oh yeah, eat that weird fungus that you found in a cave. I am holding now a potion that has vomit in it. My own. You hear the word weird fungus shifting and shrinking in colors. So, what we have there is called a fungal shift, which changes one substance into another. And one, either the before or the after, is apparently weird fungus. Given that all that fungus is still there, that means it's the after since it hasn't transmuted. Now we know something, we don't know what it is yet, something is going to transmute into weird fungus. What I'd like to try to do is transmute away lava and toxic sludge, and acid possibly, into something far less harmful. It's a complicated mechanic, but if we had a better demonstration, I could make it much easier to see. Here, have some physics. What an excellent run so far. Let's see, we still need to get in there. The healing ghosts definitely were a huge boon to us. Can't do it from this side. That is why we also want to get rid of polymorphine. Although chaotic is much more important to get rid of. Regular polymorphine is uncommon, but chaotic polymorphine is used by a lot, and I mean a lot of enemies. You know, I think we can actually just go ahead and... Good, that does give us Berserk while it's active. And there we go. Oh, would you look at that? Thank you, thank you. They were hiding in that little hole the entire time. We almost have 2,000 gold and we haven't even gotten into the next level yet. What I'd like to try is see if we can find a black hole wand somewhere, which will be the single most important thing for us to pick up. Chaotic polymorphine at the bottom, which we definitely want to get. Go ahead and drink a little bit more. And drop another bad boy down there. I said down there. We also have a little bit of sturdy and stubborn steel in our way. Get that melted. Melty, like blood. And useless. Yeah, we don't have any use for those eggs. Although, we can use them as an inventory item, and save them for later. So if there's ever sort of... Ooh. Again, thank you. I'll be honest, I'd rather have the beneficial effects here than playing an absolutely vanilla run, at least for a while. Really. So, now we know that you can't collect gold while polymorphed. You know what, give me some of that. I'm about to do something very irresponsible. I just gotta figure out how to do it first. Or more importantly, where. Right here should do it. pour that out of the way. We'll need specifically this spot. Or, you know, physics glitch, and it breaks again. Be careful and start moving around, move away, so we stop getting affected by it. Apparently, it stays forever if you don't actually move. Fly over it. Gently drop that. Now we have a chaotic polymorphine potion. We might want to fill that up more. We want it to be mostly polymorphine. And we landed in the teleport, or something teleported us. And now we're blinded. Welcome to the fungal caverns. How would you like to die today? Just keep going right. We'll go back to the coal pits eventually. Also, the guys that blind you for a whole 20 seconds. It's a nightmare. Also, why defensive wands are very important. Ruined that potion now. Interesting seeing recoils on the arrows. Barrel rain. You want there to be more whiskey in here. Meant to do 3. Damn it! Was that thing homing? Why are we out of levitate? Well, at least we're safe in there. For a little bit. We gotta be really careful with this guy. In fact, actually, I think it's a time to introduce him to our friend, Rocky. Pheromone Acceleration. Well, time to have some fun. And we're missing because of the whiskey again. Just toss that in there. Goodbye. Go ahead and grab our fire rock, which will protect us from the fire, but not from the acid. We can at least grab that one while we're at it. And that seems to be the only fruit of our labor. Funny, drunk doesn't affect you at all. These are my least favorite enemies in the game. There we go. And there's still one more little rascal left to deal with. Although he's not here for now. So, we gotta get in there. We'll need to get some more of the concentrated mana. We'll head back to the coal pits really quick. I think given that we're working so thoroughly so far, we might want to try to get everything cleaned up before we continue. After all, we don't know exactly how well it's going from here on out. If we start with a good foundation and get a lot of good effects going on, it'll be easier to win in the future. What I'm looking for is a black hole. Always casts something about explosives. So that is a very dangerous wand for us to use. We also know that concentrated mana turns more water into more of itself. Pick that up. And we'll use that to get through steel. And voila! One melted steel bar coming right up. Now, what's this wand? Earthquake. Good idea. Acceleration, didn't we find levitation earlier? If we combine those, we can get Hastium. And then do something very, very important with it. Oh look, Robocop. Or so I've been told. That is the guy we gotta be careful of. Which is why we're going to try to fight him without even seeing him. Wow, those shots hum in. Quick, kill him while he's vulnerable. There we go. Temporarily regenerate mana extremely quickly. Lovely, but I don't think we're having any mana shortage so far. I hate those guys. He's gonna be able to reflect on my DPS. And this is how we die. I think it's unfair that damage stuns you while you're flying. Especially for how long polymorphine lasts. Well, at least we're alive. We might want to avoid that area from now on. Really, one shot should be enough to kill you if this game was fair. But it's a roguelike. By definition, it can't be. This is how we die. This is not how we die. Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Wait, what happened to all our money? All of those suck. But what you want... Teleporting cast, what does that do now? Cast a spell from the closest enemy. Well, I've got a nice juicy little surprise for you here. Check this out. Oh, we did find a black hole. Which, well, now everything's going to be much easier. Well, you know, as sad as it makes me, we don't need the rocks here. Now we get to start having some fun. We might be able to use that for storage for now. Exploding larva, heavy spread, orbiting arc. Didn't you say I had nearly 2,000 earlier? I did! Where did all that go? Let's see, do we have enough mana? 120, which we do, and 230, which we do. There's our digging one. There's our utility wand. We do not yet have a we do now. Well, we do now. We now have a teleport option. We'll store that there for now. We do not need acid ball, I imagine. That's far too dangerous for us. The rest of these, honestly, we might not have too much use for. Yeah, that's 210 overall, and that will be castable every 4 seconds. For the sake of making things compact, we can go ahead and pour everything on there for now. We will need add mana, and we will need this. We'll take it because we might have to use it soon. And we will be coming back here relatively soon to edit our wands. But right now, well, we have other places to be. Such as the next level. Everyone say hi, Steve. Well, that's not what I wanted out of that spell. Well, pick the lightning bolt instead. As you know, we all know and love. How are the kids? Exactly. Actually, this might even be better for us. Go away, Steve. No one wants to talk. Especially not me. He's probably going to follow us. Yep, here he comes. Luckily, if we lead him into a very uninteresting part of the coal mines here, we might now be able to escape him. I've also honed my Noita strategy. The meta is 1 damage wand, 1 drilling wand, and 1 teleport wand. Which this, once we get a good enough set of effects to go with it, we can actually achieve flight with just teleporting upwards. Now I'd like to see a man about a levitation potion. Come on. We are currently wet due to the humid conditions, so we don't need to worry about those flames. And I'm going to show you what we have done with a stroke of absolute genius. Uh-oh. Who neglected to vote? Bring it on, we're prepared. Levitation potion. That's what we're looking for. And we're wanting to avoid that guy, so we will bring out our teleporting wand. Oh, right. Gotta get rid of... Let's get rid of Berserkium. And get out of dodge. Look for a nice cup-shaped place, or invent our own. Want to talk to Steve, he's great. Yeah, great. So, black holes come in a limited supply. But, Phi here casts a copy of every projectile spell you have. So, once we run out of our limited supply of black holes, Phi will still be able to cast it. We now have infinite black holes, and a way to get anywhere we desire. Such as back up top. And there's our hole out of here. We do not want any of those spells back. There. We are now out of ammo for our black holes. But, since we have Phi, it will copy the black hole and enable us to keep casting more. We can now dig very smooth tunnels in any direction. We do not want to go to the collapsed mines, though. Those letter spells you unlock is due to defeating the High Alchemist. You might remember him from the Death Ray stream. He was the big guy that looked like a large, angrier version of Noita. Now, the reason we are wanting to dig these holes is because holy mountains become invalidated once you cross across that barrier. That makes them turn red and start collapsing. You'll notice we cannot edit our wands here. But if we manage to get out of the holy mountain by angering Steve, well, we're able to freely return and edit our wands again. It's gonna come pouring down. So, we've made our escape out of the second floor, and that will actually let us return at any time to continue editing our wands. Alright, weird fungus. Transformed. There, take a look. Something was turned into weird fungus there, and I have an inkling of an idea. It might be toxic sludge. Because this pool right here is adjacent to this toxic rock, which is usually where it will generate pools of toxic liquid. So, we might have a safety from poison now. It might all just be turning into weird trippy ball fungus. We want that extra health, and we also want to get rid of you. We have electric immunity. Once we acquire explosive immunity, we'll be able to cast lightning bolts freely. Glowing homunculus. Cute, thank you. Help me with these clowns. There we go, look at that. That was one of our slime ball guys, but he bled weird fungus. So, now whenever the game attempts to generate toxic sludge, it'll instead transform into weird fungus. Which means we are safe from any sources of regular toxic sludge now. Now, it does not have that effect on acid, unfortunately. Still going to be careful about picking up that gold because fire immunity does not count as lava immunity. So there's some weird Noita mechanics for you. Not that there's anything particularly interesting for us back here, but let's see, nothing's poured to the bottom here yet. Acceleration, levitation. Let's see, what do we want to pour first? Guess it doesn't matter. Pour about 50% out here. In retrospect, let's dump the entire content of both bottles. Oh no, we do not want that vote going on. We are doing something a bit more casual here. Now that we have the entirety of 2 bottles being poured here, they will mix into hastium, which is much more important for us. Wonder if it is possible to be lava immune but not fire immune. I actually don't think there's a way to be lava immune in this game. I'll let that mix. What do we have? Concentrated light. If you shoot it, it'll mix a bit better. It should complete. Don't know why our projectiles are terminating so quickly. We should be able to get all of that in a bottle at this point anyway. It's hard to pick up water directly off of the ground, but we should be able to mix up an entire bottle here. There we go. 1 full bottle of levitation. Now, we're going to mess with that fungus again. Especially since we have so much of it right here. Now, it depends sometimes, only sometimes, on what potion you're holding. We are taking a very big gamble right here, and we are going to see if we can transform something else into Hastium. And we're going to need to trip balls in order to do that. Oh yeah, look at that. I feel funky. You hear the word acid echoing and shifting in colors. So that means something has either become acid, or acid has become something else. We still have our Hastium potion, which means either it didn't affect our potion, or the single best outcome that we could have had out of that is that acid now is just Hastium. I'm gonna get a few more mushrooms. Now we can I did look up that mechanic after I found it, and we can only trigger that every 5 minutes or so. So, hope you enjoyed tripping balls. While we are hasted, we are going to do our usual speedrun route. Especially now that we have infinite black holes, we have the start of something very powerful. Thought there was, but you don't feel like looking it up. Invisibly potion. We might come back for that later. Now we all know this lava lake, which... let's see. It recharges quickly enough. We might not need to... safety first. Concentrated mana has no effect. We'll pour that out here and then safely go grab some water. Now, we could risk teleporting over that entire lava lake, but I don't remember exactly how far that goes. And given that we've had such a good run so far, we're going to try to be no nonsense and responsible. With water, we can at least create ourselves some platforms. So, the week's almost up. What does everyone want to see coming up next week? I guess Noita, given how popular it is. We might... Oh, wow, I probably could have teleported over that. We'll keep a little bit of water around. We also potentially have Deltarune in the future. There's the Drunk Halo stream, which might be a while before we get back to it. Who knows? But it turns out we might be doing a lot less fighting games than I wanted. I absolutely want to get in more Melty Blood, but that might take us a bit more time to lab. I am going to try to focus on practicing maids individually. Now, I know that that one flying tentacle boss is triggered if you try to go backwards back to the lava lake. So instead, we're going to dig up and out using our infinite black holes. Get our little bit of gold bounty from these guys. Huh, we might yeah, it looks like we're able to fly with this. Almost. We got a slightly faster recharge time. We actually could just take to the skies. Pick up that orb because we want the little bit of extra HP. Do we want the gold? You know what, we'll find more flasks. We can drop these here. Hopefully none of you get motion sickness, because now that we have access to this, we are going to do this a lot. grab this tablet while we can. As part of all of our responsible and successful runs, we are going to harvest a couple of tablets up there at the very top with that shrine. Now that we have a teleport wand and understand the meta, we also don't need to worry at all about using some obscure reason to get up, some obscure methods to get up there. Now I'm going to be very careful. And I think actually our concentrated light goes ahead and it's going to destroy that snow very slowly. It's my angle. Ah, we still have partial tablet left. Pick up that orb. We now have much higher max health than before. How high can I go? Well, let's give ourselves a little test. But first, we want a bit of supply of gold. Now, consistently, until I'm proven wrong, we're going to drop 2 emerald tablets here to get the small bounties of gold that they offer. The third one has a chance, at least it's only been the third one starting so far, where we'd actually get those hell demons. So we're not going to use this tablet for now. We're going to leave that here. Now, if we already have the best possible wand, well, one, there's no reason for us to be up there, but it would be nice to know if we have the capability. So, going up. That reminds me. James, you weren't here for the discovery that we made. Broham knows, because he was here for that stream. I think Leviathan might have been as well. That's going to be very slow. I'm going to give you a spoiler. There is stuff up there, but we want to make sure we're way better prepared, because it is a very long flight. Oh, wait. While we're here. Might as well make our way to the tree. I forgot what we were looking for here. Well, there are the guardians of the tree we could trigger, and we can see if their acid has been shifted. Oh, nice. Gold potion. Wow, lots of potions. Now, what's going on here? They're firing acid balls, but the acid, as our plan succeeded, is now an infinite recurring supply of hastium. Hastium parentheses transformed. So, there's a lesson to be learned from Noita. If you do enough drugs, you'll be able to do alchemy to the entire world, for some reason. Kayla was there too, so Kayla also knows that we can find some stuff at the very, very top of the map. We are not picking up that gold. We might even let you guys live as just our recurring supply of... Oh wait, hold on. Now, we could, and I'll let you guys vote on this, we could try another fungal shift. We now have gold potions, so we have a chance to make something very, very grand, or transmute all the gold on the map into, say, something else random, like acid. Tell me your vote right now. Do we want to try to fungal shift with gold, or do we want to say no, absolutely not? I had a reason to be over there. What was it? Oh, right, there's more potions up there. We might not actually need the hastium potion as well. I'll leave it... You know what, let's leave it on the altar. Since we might be here eventually. Go ahead and gently drop this boy. So let me hear a vote in the chat. Do we want to fungal shift with the gold potion for a very high risk of either transforming gold into something else or transforming something else into gold? So far we have 2 no's, which would tie with whatever other viewer base we have, so no. We are not going to take the risk. What the heck? What lit me on fire there? I think that might have been the little gremlin following us around. Alright, safe route it is. We need a little alchemy hole. Lay it on me. So, that treasure chest dropped us some gold potions. And now we might be able to get back to where we belong. That's 1 potion empty. I didn't even see what the other potions were. One of them was Berserkium. No, we're not gonna cheat on stream, but there are calculators to tell us exactly what we'll get out of the next fungal shift. Good. I could use the healing. Berserkium, gold. It's just Berserkium and gold potions. Gently drop these jars here. Or not. Gold in a bottle. Liquid. Yeah. Apparently you can get liquid gold potions. I don't get it either. We can actually just do that magic here. I don't know what else we can do with gold. We might literally have this as our only use for it, but you can see we're getting into the thousands now. Funny enough, you can't normally capture gold in a bottle, so we might want to leave one of these full, given that each of them seems to have, well, nearly 1,000, if not more than 1,000 gold apiece. If, say, we start getting towards the end of the game where we can afford to take more risks, or if our normal supply of gold becomes irrelevant, we can attempt another fungal shift with 1 gold potion left. Right, get rid of the bottles. Ever so gently. We'll leave one of them around. We can't collect gold in a bottle, so if we ever want to do some wonderful experiments with it... Oh wait, you know, I don't even need this bottle, we can just do this. Gently leave this bad boy right here. And we'll take 2 glass bottles with us, because we can use it. Let's see, nothing but Berserkium left over here. Nothing we want right now on the other side of the tree, so let's start schmovin'. Wrong way. We now have 345 health, which is, well, exceptional. I'm so proud of how far we've come, and we haven't even gotten down to the second one, have we? No, we did. It just didn't have any good perks to offer us. But now we have a chance to re-roll pretty real. Can you fungal shift more than once? Spoiler, you can fungal shift 20 times total, and they are predetermined by your seed. It is possible that we can turn something... Or it is possible we can make a rule that changes gold into something else. But it is entirely possible that we have another rule further down the line, which replaces it. So if we mix up the gold transmutation, we can have a somewhat reliable chance of fixing it later, although we might only get 1 or 2 resets off of it. We also have no idea what we could do to actually change it. It's a complete mix-up on whether or not we get something transmuting into your flask, or your flask transmuting into something else. And that's even only based off of a chance of you actually triggering that in the first place. It's, I think, either 20... I remember looking it up, and it's a 25-75% split, or 1 to 3 basically. And I can't remember if it's which favor it's in, depending on what sort of flask you're holding. And that is on if it is affected by whatever potion you're holding at the time. It's entirely possible, and chances are it might even be more likely that the fungal shift you get has nothing to do with whatever flask you currently have equipped. Yes, burn, please. Well, glad we weren't there. I don't want to see you anymore. And I don't mean that as a blindness pun. I'm lying, I totally mean that as a blindness pun. Frogs we want to avoid. We also can get ourselves out of nasty situations with that teleport wand a lot easier. So we'll know that it's a very reliable tool for us in the future. What we want next is explosion immunity, which would make us incapable of hurting ourselves with our lightning bolts. Hold our little fire rock and pick up that gold. Make sure we are no longer on fire, and we are ready to go. Wow, those healing ghosts are overpowered. You're so well hidden. I hate those frogs. I hate just all the frogs that we're seeing. So, looks like this run's a keeper. Hopefully we don't end up hurting ourselves too soon. Which is why we're going to be as safe and responsible as we can afford for the longest time. We can also use black holes to just get rid of all the liquid here. Although it looks like it's making more because it might be affecting the corpse of something that bleeds slime. Fire rock, reasonable damage, infinite... Oh, what is that? That's a book. That's a regular book. I hadn't seen that before, even offline. Oh, we're on fire now. Par for the course. Right, we probably should cover ourselves in blood. Great. We're already covered in slime, so I guess it's not gonna make a difference for us. Give it to me. Also, given that we can teleport everywhere, we probably don't have to worry. There's a wand. Flammable gas, concentrated mana. And it's glitter bombs, which we are not yet interested in. That has an eyeball icon on it. I've seen a couple of artifacts with those, and there is that evil eye item. Imagine using a book instead of a magic tome of knowledge. Shake my head. It might differ from those emerald tablets. Those are supposed to be alchemical in nature. These books are Possibly magical instead of alchemical. They might be the wizard's equivalent. Let's give this a little read while we're presumably safe. One of my brethren ran away in order to escape our predicament. They felt our understanding of this world was to be forbidden. They hid something here, in this room, but I lack the ability to truly see what is here. Hold on. We found it on that pedestal. And it has an eyeball icon. So, what do you say? Should we go further down the dungeon, or should we discover what secret we have here? I'm gonna make this route a lot easier. It's not all-seeing eye, I don't think. Because that icon on that pedestal looks exactly like that eyeball thing we found in the snow that one time. You know what? Let's go discover it. We can leave this here because we might not have use for it. We know what it says for us, but we don't exactly know what it means. There's a polymorphian coming home. Also seems like the enemies are respawning now that we've left, or maybe we never passed through this area in the first place. So, we have an infinite sped-up black hole wand, and you can see exactly how important that utility is. Discover the secret. Alright. Luckily, we have all these pools of hastium left over from our acid boys who try to guard the tree here. I know a better one-way ticket. And, of course, there's stuff in here. And worms. Oh, it's right there. Very short distance away. Where does this go? Oh, would you look at that? The sacrifice of oneself to the pursuit of knowledge is the highest tribute to the gods. Secretorium Hermetis. There's gotta be some reason for those emerald tablets other than sacrificing them to the altar. Maybe we get some special reward if we keep sacrificing them, but we're not ready to fight hell demons yet. Those weird floating eyeball guys that attacked us last time. Gonna douse ourselves in some of this. If we find a way to reliably recreate toxic sludge in the future, well, we can just give ourselves hastium wherever we want. So far we have... No, it was acid. And there are spells that create acid. Realized you're up later than usual. Yeah, I'm surprised you actually haven't left yet, James. You know what? Should we discover whatever the secret is, and then end the stream there? I do have to go to bed maybe, say, 2 hours from now at the max. I'm not sure about leaving a stream up here too long. You let me know, Kayla. I know you also have a schedule to keep up with. Berserkium plus oil potion. We can also navigate around far easier with our teleport wand. We will also need to make sure we get rid of all these goons around here first. Note, that's not absolute of quitting after we discover the secret. Depends on how much of a rabbit hole we have. And also, I will admit, I just want to keep playing since we finally have a good run. Nothing there. We'll check the area to make sure there's no enemies hiding. Alright, let's see what's going on here. You know, I think that explicitly is supposed to be the instruction that tells us how to fungal shift. Because it has those eyeballs from when we triggered the effect, as well as it being a mushroom. I think that literally is the in-game hint that's supposed to tell us exactly what we've already been doing. But we now know that the evil eye there can discover some secrets. So we'll keep it on our person and see what it does. What other tales does it have to tell? And what's in there? Can't mouse close enough to get it. Flammable gas, we'll need to be careful. That is a broken wand. Well, You voted that one, Leviathan. You voted that one. I didn't even look at the other options. You got a bone to pick. I think we'll still keep wandering around, but I think once we get solid foundation after this. Ooh, nice wand. I think either once we get to the snow area or Hissy Base. Let's go ahead and stop it once we get to Hissy Base, and otherwise mostly just make our way straight there. Give me some hastium, friend. Thank you. You idiot. Far less residual damage. They also bleed that, so it's going to be far less dangerous to us. I forgot farts were flammable. There's an entire subculture built around it. Did you forget that too? We are not on fire anymore. Uh-oh. You know what? I don't have to fight you, and so I'm not going to. Yeah, we did look that. Wait, hold on. We might try an acid ball later, but we do know now, if we did use acid ball, we'd have an infinite supply of hastium for us. Looks like we've actually examined everything in the fungal cavern so far. Let's, well, one, avoid all the polymorphine. Actually, let's get rid of it if we can. We've transformed our little buddy. Oh, wow. We can't black hole that away. I guess that makes polymorphine a different substance than most of the other ones. Skip that. We're not making that fight. Ooh. Excellent start. You know what? I think this would be a lot better for us, even if it carries an extreme risk. No, give that back. That light wasn't very useful for us. As good as it is, I think we want a way to rapid fire that possibly. Hold on. Let's swap these wands around. Still not fast enough. We want something with a very low recharge time, which that is still our slowest. Or our quickest, essentially. Go on without you. Don't get noited by RNG. We're not going to be doing this for too much longer, James. There should be a small amount for you to be able to watch later. But thank you very much for your time. I hope you have a wonderful rest. I admire your responsibility on your sleep schedule. Wish I had it. Yeah, look, he's putting he's putting fungus everywhere. So we've already made acid and fungus safe. Or, acid and toxic sludge are both safe for us. To reduce the possibility of harming ourselves... Shuffle, yes. Let's make that a no. Swap those around. Now, our black holes and accordingly our tunneling is very slow, but it's going to be a bit more precise. And now, we actually have a longer range lightning bolt. Xander, we both know that one wrong move can end the best run. Be careful and good night. Always. I'm going to actually think about re-rolling for explosive immunity very soon. I don't want to fight Steve just yet. Excellent dodging so far. We will need to engage some of these guys in combat to make the area safer, though. Black hole that, so it stops bleeding frost on me. You know, we might even want to carry around an emergency wand that has that healing aura. We also, since we have an infinite black hole machine, if we find a holy mountain, we can dive on in immediately. We don't need to worry about saving our runs for later. We have much more freedom of movement, given that we can just carve our way out of anywhere. We'll be very careful with that frost. Hope these totally regular ducks are as regular as they say they are. Take a drink, I'm gonna need it. Too much drinking. Electric immunity. Look, he bled fungus. Oh, Lord. I really don't think those are regular ducks. Weird, leggy tentacle ducks. That's also the most important reason why our teleport wand is so important. Lets us dodge these guys. And there we go. Leviathan, why? Why did you elect to torture me? Indeed, those are definitely not ducks. Now, hopefully, this is a very wonderful and usable wand. Well, I would call that very wonderful, but we don't exactly have a reason to be picking it up yet. It has a very high capacity, but a very low charge speed. And we already have a lightning bolt, so we're not concerned. Dynamite. Now we could use that to make an infinite dynamite wand. Any of the normally limited projectiles we find can be made infinite through the use of that phi. Those letter spells are my absolute favorite. Ah! What's going on over here? I did try escaping from the tentacle guy a while ago and ended up down here. I don't know if there's any secrets to be found. Tommy, welcome. Would you be the person that Leviathan has been talking to me about? It is a pleasure to meet you. Regardless of your status as Leviathan's accomplice. Actually, this goes back to that tentacle boss, which we would have already made upset. So let's not go in that direction. I admire your use of puns, Tommy. Always welcome. Monk's looking a little handsy there. Now we have plenty of health to spare, so not too much to worry about. You suppose he would be. Welcome! Yeah, there was a tentacle guy over there that we do not want to make upset. The bosses in this game are found on random spots on the world map that might be a little unintuitive, but they are also out of the way. In fact, the guy we're talking about might be the introduction to the, hey, you can find the boss trying to murder you at any time. Wordplay is an absolute favorite of mine. Completely. You temporarily reflect melee damage, thank you. Although we're not really dealing with too many melee attacks. Are you familiar with Noita at all, Tommy? Ooh. Ooh, 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 ooh. Maybe I shouldn't make strange noises out of character. Sorry, but I just got a wonderful, awful idea. Swoosh our way over here. Know little about it, and that viewers can heck with the streamer. Indeed, unfortunately, the integration does not include YouTube, only Twitch. Oh, would you look at that? There's a health power-up in there. Ha! You think I don't know what you're up to? You think I can't destroy you? The power to unmake the world at my fingertips. And you think you can do anything about it? That's a Skyrim quote, by the way. Which I will be happy to play whenever we have a larger viewer base. Now, you did see that guy with the hands and the green orbs that he was shooting earlier. That was probably the fault of this thing. Which I made a discovery of earlier. We are now at 6,000 gold and we haven't even reached Hissy base yet. This is turning out to be a wonderful run. So much for homing. Someone picked up the wand. Someone picked up the wand we didn't want them to pick up. Ha! You missed. You missed again. Also say you don't gotta worry about breaking character around you at least. Tend to not have as much of a character to break. Same here, honestly, but it's mostly about keeping the voice acting up. After all, I've had extreme doses of serotonin from people complimenting the Xander voice. Yet again, another useless wand. Heck, I don't even know if I'm getting it spot on right now. It's been a very long day. You're who we need to get rid of. So he picked up that wand that had the explosive boxes. And that's one reason you don't want to leave explosive wands like that lying around. Especially considering wands are indestructible and they can be immediately picked up by anyone else. Oh wait, that has a reduced recharge time. We're going to configure that one too. The voice is a blushy emoji. That makes 4 I've had, specifically on remarks towards the pleasantness of the voice. Do stick around. Either now or in the future, I'd be happy to see you more. What do we got here? We might be able to get ourselves a nice frozen lightning soon. Don't let Tommy fool you. His character is being a cinnamon bun, and he does it very well. I enjoy cinnamon buns. I try to liken myself to, maybe not necessarily say so, but at least relaxing and comfortable to be around. I am prone to swearing occasionally, usually about once a stream or so, but I try to make my presence pleasant otherwise. Homing's probably not particularly useful on a lightning bolt. Given how fast that projectile is, it's not going to end up where you want it to. We'll go back and pick up that freezing modifier. And take the risk, we'll teleport through there. And almost die! We were frozen there, and you can actually get stun locked when you get frozen. Especially if you're still under the conditions to be frozen again. You'll be honest, you've had the stream open for over an hour now, and it has been pretty comforting. Well, pleased to make your introduction then. Your acquaintanceship, or friendship. I welcome all conversation, but lurkers are also welcome as well. I understand it is intimidating to speak to someone going on in one of these streamer chats. Especially one so beautiful as myself. I see you. Ooh, stunned him. And there's a lot of blood in there. Freeze locked. Genshin flashbacks. Oh, goodness, I cannot avoid Genshin, can I? Maybe I'll play it one of these days. One of these days I hate myself. We still want to pick up as much gold as we can. Also, I've completely neglected where that frozen modifier was. Hopefully no one else has picked it up in this time. What do you think is better, the black hole for infinite digging or the teleport wand for getting out of dodge? And just schmooving around the map. There's no penalty for bringing up Genshin. I just have a bad history with gachas. Not that I've spent too much money on them. Only one that I spent too much money on was Fire Emblem Heroes, and over the course of my entire time playing that, might have been between $300 and $500. Unless you count Hearthstone. Hearthstone is the single game I regret playing the most out of anything, ever. Absolutely horrible. Complete swing back and forth on whether or not the game itself is functional at the time, and I might have spent $700 to $800. Schmoobin sounds very good, indeed. As for Genshin specifically, or more specifically my experience with, gacha games, it boils down to me specifically having a huge sort of a case of FOMO with it. I obsessively spend time trying to make sure I got all my dailies done because I was explicitly trying not to spend money on it. Fire Emblem Heroes is pain. I quit that maybe 2 years ago. I can't remember when it was. I think it was right after Choose Your Legends 3 it was. Got my Brave Camilla and quit like soon after. I think it was about 2 months after that. Yeah, that was back during the time in which I didn't have to pay for rent, and accordingly was willing to spend a lot of money on gacha games because I had the expendable income. When you don't have to pay $1,000 for rent every single day, getting even a $15 paycheck seems impressive. You have a lot to expend it on. Although that was over the course of maybe, what, 3-4 years that I spent that money? I'm trying to find that frozen spell modifier, but for the life of me, it has escaped. Except for Forest being added. Forest was added. You know, they probably added... I don't necessarily have any favorite Fire Emblem characters, so I don't know if there were any particular ones I was waiting for that actually got added after I quit. I know the power creep in that game is egregious as an understatement. So I'm guessing any of the new characters that have been added, even as unremarkable as they can be, are extremely powerful. Oh, they dropped the bombs underneath there. Let's get rid of that real quick. Kablooey. Worm pheromone. Ah, could be worse. Could have dropped a lava potion on me. I think we're prepared for anything except for chaotic polymorphine in the middle of a crowd of enemies. I should really pay more attention to those votes so I can know when to watch out. I think this was the wand we were looking for. There it is! Oh, and to think it was under our nose the entire time. So close. Swap that little bad boy. And the energy orb is actually a wonderful spell. We do not yet have a reason to use... Nope, that also carries a pretty extreme risk to us. We will drop this wand here for now, and resume our usual lightning bolt shenanigans. Now, our lightning bolt can freeze lock enemies as well as stun them. So if one is immune to one of the effects, they might still be able to be hit by the other. Oh, well, there's another frozen wand there, so more readily accessible. That one actually has a trigger, which could mean better things for us than an orb with a timer. Let's give this a go. Put this up here, and put this down here. Add a speed modifier, and see how dangerous this is to us. Very dangerous. So we will not be using that. It's a shuffle wand. I'm an idiot. So, wait for Leviathan to help us real quick. And take a drink. All of you hydrate. That's the pop quiz. If you have a drink right next to you, take it right now. Now let's try that again without a shuffle wand. That is what we were looking for. And that uses a lot of mana. Let's compare the explosive damages. 180 versus 500. As much as I love the lightning bolt, I think this is actually a far less lethal weapon. You're helping me by giving me the healing I so desire. Drop this here. And pretty soon we should have a much more capable wand. Once we have more slots, we can fill in even more there. But that's what we have available to us now. Along with a nearly infinite supply of wealth. Thank you. Now, promise me something, class. If we ever get to the point in which we become terrifyingly powerful, why don't you have some revenge on me? Don't go easy on me once I actually become more capable in this game. I welcome the boons while we are early and incapable, but when I'm far more capable of holding my ground, yeah, Ghost Leviathan, thank you for the health. That's what the point was. When I am far more capable, I would appreciate the challenge of everyone trying to kill me. Although, dropping Polymorph would definitely end my run regardless. Watch this. So, we have now crafted a homing energy ball. Oh, what's that? Explosion on drunk enemies. You know... that's a shuffle wand. We don't like shuffle wands. So what this wand does is it fires a homing projectile that gives an electric explosion. Kayla, thank you for showing up. I hope you sleep well. We might be ending this very soon once we get to the next area. So the energy orb, once it actually collides with something, creates an electric explosion. And since it has a homing modifier, it's going to be very easy for it to find something to collide with. We can generally fly it down a corridor even without a direct line of sight, and hit something. We will need to be careful with it though, because it does home in on the nearest enemy, which might be hidden behind a wall. That's a small teleport bolt. Speed 13, 15. That's the same as what we're using. Is that a faster wand though? Recharge time slightly faster, and it is also not a shuffle wand. So eventually we'll be able to apply modifiers to it. Also, that electric explosion does an incredible amount of damage. Now, the issue we have with using the black hole to dig through everything is if we try to use it to dig into a place that has gold waiting for us. Ooh, lava potion. We can try another fungal shift with that later. I think we've generally cleared out this entire area up here. The black holes that we create with this wand will also destroy any gold that they suck up, so if we end up finding some gold behind a wall, we cannot use the black holes to get to it. Leviathan has remained a wonderful sidekick beside me this entire night. Thank you for allowing some semblance of control over this run. Even if that also involves making Xander gassy. Oh. Hello. Can I help you? Now, our wand has exceptional one-shot damage, but it is not very reliable for multiple shots. Also, we want to make sure it recharges to full before we fire it again. Otherwise, it will not carry the extra modifiers. There we go. He dropped worm blood, but he did not drop a health pickup. You can't stop me. And neither can you. Leviathan's got my back. Orbital, fire arc. Nothing too useful in there. We can't go in there because that place is incredibly dark. Hold our fire rock so we do not ignite. Those guys aren't even a problem anymore. Better capacity and recharge, and it is also not a shuffler. But that only has 2 slots. We can apply modifiers to it. No, so far we don't have a better wand to put our lightning ball on, other than the one we started with. We also will have trouble taking down this guy, given that he shoots out little babies to fight us. So instead, we're going to get rid of his perch. And he's going to come to us. Poison Pit, Trip, Biggie Hold, Genocide. Genocide's actually good. Watch yourself, Xander. Don't say this out of context. No one quote this out of context. Genocide actually is very helpful for us because if I remember, it gets rid of all the enemies nearby. Although it might not give us the gold. And was this little one have? That is a shuffle one, so... Yes, just because we can put the teleport bolts on there instead. Trip. Yeah, I think we can go for that one instead. Good to know for the future, indeed. Not a pleasant subject to discuss. Oh, another one of those little statues. Well. Oh, yeah. Yo, do you think you can taste colors? I wonder what this guy tastes like. Oh, he tastes like disintegrate. If there's such thing as disintegrate, is there such a thing as derive? You know, like calculus. I enjoy calculus. That was the most fun math class I ever had. Cal 1 was better than Cal 2. Cal 2 is suffering. Cal 3 is actually easier than Cal 2, because it is more about derivative calculus, rather than integral calculus, which is very difficult and far less easy to manipulate. Concern? Concern for what? I've got 20 seconds left of godhood. Nothing to worry about here. Alright, we're done tripping. That is indeed a big fungus. What that would mean is one of those little acid guys, probably took a lot of slice damage and ended up bleeding a lot in that one. You know what? Hold on. Before we head into the next area, take a vote. The two of you. Do we fungal shift with lava? Because we can do it up there. Now we can either turn lava into something else, or turn a lot of something into lava. Which, who knows, we might even get something like blood to lava, which is bad, or water to lava, which is the worst. Or we could get lava to diamonds. Answer that vote, however many of you are left here, while I go in here and check on whatever spells we can acquire. Oh, wait, we don't even have to worry about buying them anymore. That's right, I bought the last few after we already had. Darn. Put this here, and get rid of these. Alright, let's get ready to absolutely destroy this run. Luckily, you are far less cautious compared to your other classmates. So, we're about to get this ended right here and now. Come on, give me more fungus. More of that. And it's not dropping. We'll have to look for that other fungus up there. Oh, we're done. Oh yeah, 185 seconds. Let's trip a little more. That was bad. That was very bad. That was extremely bad. That was incredibly bad. No? Snow is still here. Packed snow. Oh no. Oh no. It's not going to be too much of a problem for us in the future. But that next level is going to be very, very fun. Because I think if we start blowing up snow... No? Lava. Hold on. Where did it say that? Lava transformed. It said it in there. We also have molten steel here. Which means that something melted in this area. I also don't know where we're going to find regular snow. Oh, there is regular snow. It's not lava. Something turned into lava. Allegedly snow, possibly not. Hold on, I'm going to look that one up really quick. Just to double check ourselves. Because allegedly it should have been snow into something else. Or something else into snow. Going to take a very quick look at what this fungal shift gives us, and then close out the window and make sure I see nothing else in the process. Huh. No, my suspicions were correct. Allegedly, we got snow into lava, but... You see, we still have packed snow here. And we still have regular piles of snow here. If we interact with it. No? Allegedly, we have snow into lava now, but it's... doesn't seem to have changed much, if anything at all. Oh, right, we started pouring blood all the way down here, so now we're going to be very laggy for a short amount of time. Whoops, wrong wand. Start getting that stuff out of here, please. Yep, we got snow into lava, so our next map here has lots of pockets of lava left and right. So, next stream is going to be very fun. I'm going to see if we can check on our boy Steve here. Ooh, wait, I think we have. We still have some lava trickling down in here for some reason. There we go. Great. I don't think that helps me much. Our teleport bolts are ducks. They're teleport ducks. Come on, Steve. I'm not done yet. Over here, boy. Come on. and make our grand escape, and he is now no longer chasing us because he shouldn't be able to see us. What's this? Summon tiny ghost. Large spitter bolt with timer, black hole death trigger, ball lightning. Now more importantly, feared by worms, pinpointer, or greed. You gain double the gold per nugget. I think that is our best investment to make. Let's look at our wands real quick. I think the lightning bolt will still serve us best for now. Oh wait, no, we had the electric bomb. Yeah. I think actually add mana would be better than giving it a freeze effect for now. Circle of Vigor is also something we could still use. If we ever find a Sigma, we get infinite uses out of that too. Just to give a little bit of a proper demonstration. That's what we're hoping to get an infinite amount of in the future. And we will have a refresh for that soon, hopefully. If we ever find a Sigma letter, we get to do whatever we want with it. Ball lightning, black hole with death trigger, large spinner bolt with timer. We did not find an... Oh, we did. We have another freeze. Xander plays Pot of Greed. I draw 2 cards, and draw a Pot of Greed, which allows me to draw 2 more cards. Actually, now that we have reduced recharge time and small teleport bolt, check this out. Uh-oh, Steve found us. Let's get out of here. Alright, what else? Explosive detonator. Bounce is good for whenever we have... Oh wait, no, bounce doesn't help us the way I want it. Slithering path, no. Don't think any of our options here are actually useful to us, so we will hold off on our wand configuration for now. Well, it's been a wonderful evening for us together. We have had a 0-4 run in our Nicktoon Smash game earlier, but that was a wonderful first experience for us. I think in the future I might actually start trying to talk more with the fighting game community for VTubers. That was a wonderful start, and I might have a better chance with Guilty Gear, and this is allegedly Fighting Game Month. We might drop Nicktoon Smash, honestly, and I'll see about trying to lab Melty Blood offline in the interim period between now and our next few streams. Thank you very much for this stream. Thank you, Tommy. I'm very glad to have seen you here. Hope I've made a wonderful and warm welcome for you. So, still no plans this coming week. Expect more Guilty Gear, maybe a Melty stream, maybe Noita. Noita is likely, very likely, especially with the success here. I might do it, who knows, 2 or 3 days. Other than that, we are looking at the usual Guilty Gear, possibly Melty, maybe even a longer stream on next Sunday or Saturday just to get in a mix of different things. I spend a lot of time preparing for a stream, so maybe if I did it in bulk with a longer stream time, like what we've done tonight, we might have a better chance. Rivals of Aether and Melty Blood will be labbed off-stream for a little bit, so let's put those on a back burner for next week. Yeah, expect Noita, expect Guilty Gear, and maybe Melty, but nothing too big there. We also might go ahead and start our Deltarune run, but we will have to go back to Chapter 1, since I know pretty much the entire viewer base here doesn't have experience with Chapter 1. Shouldn't be much more than 2 or 3 streams for that. They should be very, very short. Tommy, you have. Thank you. Very glad. Alright, I think we are ready to shut it down for the night. You've all been a very wonderful audience. Thank you. Class is dismissed, but I'm going to, slowly, lurk my way to the bottom of the stream here. because I know that the stream tends to cut off quite a bit due to YouTube's delay, so I will silently rest my little head here at the bottom and wait for a response on the other end. Good night, everyone.